Despite having proven to every single person that the comments about him dodging and fearing the European arm wrestlers aren't true, at least not anymore, this thing still sits somewhere in Devon Larratt's heart and his mind, and he wants to prove the remaining people wrong as well. And he won't stop until he beats and destroys every single one of the elite European arm wrestlers that are remaining. In this video, we are going to discuss Levan Saginashvili's comments about the Devon versus Hermes match, his own match against Hermes, and Hermes versus Vitaly Larratt in upcoming super match. Devon Larratt's comments about European arm wrestlers and why he wants to beat them, and his comments about the Dennis and potentially the Levan Saginashvili match as well. Then Neil Pickup said that he never told Engin anything about the Georgi Svetkov versus Devon Larratt poll, which is interesting because Engin Terzi did say that he got that information from Neil Pickup himself. Then Engin congratulating the entire arm wrestling community after the massive success of East versus West 10, which is a good sign. East versus West qualifiers. What do I think about them? Are they serving the purpose that they were supposed to serve? Then David Dadikyan asking for a match against John Brzenk for the 10th time probably. Please give that guy the match that he deserves. So let's start. Levan Saginashvili said that he was not surprised at all after seeing Devon Larratt beat Hermes Gasparini. In fact, he already predicted that long time ago. It's kind of interesting because Hermes is the only person to stop Levan and to take 2 rounds off of him in a super match format. And yet, Levan has absolutely no belief in him. He predicts Hermes to lose against everyone, even Vitaly Larratt, and we are going to discuss that. I hope he is training hard, but I think Vitaly for him is too much, not comfortable. But Levan did say that there is a possibility that Vitaly can be stopped by Hermes Gasparini with a flop press, just like he stopped Levan. So the match can get close, but still it looks like Levan is heavily favoring Vitaly Larratt to beat Hermes Gasparini. And when he talked about his own match against Hermes, he said that it was a good learning experience for him. You don't really learn much until you lose. And that is coming from a guy who never loses. It is interesting as well. Next up, we have Devon Larratt going to Miami for more treatment this weekend. Is it a stem cell treatment or some other kind of treatment that Devon has been getting in these past months? My man is not a human anymore. He himself said that he should probably stop referring to himself as he. He should start referring to himself as we, because there are many people inside him. There are many genes, many therapies, many cells from different human beings that are gathered in his own body. So he's not a single human being anymore, which is interesting. Then talking about Georgi Svetkov, I really believe Georgi has the best hand in the division. Is he saying that because he's having Georgi as his upcoming opponent, so he wants to hype him up, he wants to make his win look good? We'll discuss that thing. I believe Levan has the best hand. He's probably a number 4 type of guy, talking about Georgi Svetkov. I think that he will top roll Hermes. That's what I think. So even Devon is predicting Hermes Gasparini to lose. My friend was on the top of the world just a few months ago, and now everyone is predicting him to lose. I think he's going to prove everyone wrong come king of the table. So this match is exciting, the Devon versus Georgi match, because Devon does not have much to gain from this thing. He has everything to lose but not much to gain. That's why he's talking about taking Georgi's wrist that has never been taken before. That will be one thing that Devon can gain from this match. Otherwise, there is no incentive except for a $20,000-$25,000 fat paycheck. Then the other incentive is him, dad moving him, grandpa moving him. Why is he talking about things like that? Because he knows otherwise there is nothing in this match for him, unfortunately. But I think he will find something. He'll make this match as big as he can, like he always does. But there is one thing that I believe: if Georgi Svetkov takes Devon Larratt's wrist and he loses to Devon via a flop press from Devon, still I would love to see a super match between Georgi and Levan. Because if Georgi's wrist is that strong, his pronation is that strong, maybe he can challenge Levan in that department, and Levan won't have a flop press that Devon does. Then that match will be interesting. And Devon knows about Georgi because he has already pulled with him. Until about 2021, end of 2021 or early 2022, I think the comments of people saying that Devon is dodging the Europeans were justified, at least somewhat justified. Why am I saying somewhat justified? Because there can be many variables like contracts, COVID issues, organization issues, not enough money, people don't having the ability to organize the dates that suit both of the athletes, bunch of problems. But right now, nobody can say that. He wants as many Europeans as he can, and he did talk about that. I'm punching right through this division. People talk so much crap about me and the Europeans. I'm going through everybody, okay? Let me make that perfectly clear. There's nobody that I'm not gonna go through. That is an aggressive Devon, and you don't want that guy to show up on the arm wrestling table. So now everyone knows that Devon is not dodging the Europeans, but still there are some names left. Vitaly Lalitin, Artem Morozov, Georgi Swetkov, Levan Saginashvili, Gennady Kwikvinia. Maybe these 5 names, maybe Alex Kordech as well, Zaur Pezulaev. So still we can have 7 different super matches on the right arm by Devon Larratt, and all of them are going to be interesting. Devon talked about people complaining about his opponents not being 100% when he beats them. So Devon said, after I beat your guy, just realize he's not 50%, he's not 60%. It's not because he's injured. Ask him if they want a rematch and see what they say. Initially, I was thinking about whether he's saying that about Denis Cyplenkov or Levan Saginashvili, because if you read this comment once again, it kind of fits both. Rematch against Denis, ask your guy if they want a rematch. Denis Cyplenkov's camp does not want a rematch. So is he talking about Denis? Yeah, most likely. But when I beat your guy, realize he's not 50%, 60%, he's not injured. So is he talking about Levan's wrist injury? Maybe he's covering both aspects in this just one comment. It is interesting, and Devon is on a mission. In my last video, I shared an information how Engin Terzi told Georgi Swetkov and all of us in his podcast that Neil Pickup told him that in the first couple of rounds, Georgi was dominant, then Devon had to use a king's move, and then he bled him out. So I reported that, and Neil Pickup was saying that he never said any such thing to Engin Terzi. So it's kind of interesting why they are hiding it. Maybe Engin got to know it from someone else, and maybe he was kind of trying to trick Georgi Swetkov into believing that Neil Pickup told him what actually happened. I don't know what exactly the situation was. I didn't ask these guys, because if they are trying to hide it, there's no point in trying to extract that information from them. But the thing is that the practice pull happened, and Georgi Swetkov is confident after that practice pull, and so is Devon. He thinks that he may need to use the king's move, but he's confident that he's going to win. Engin Terzi shared a community post with the arm wrestling fans, and he is happy. Let me read that out for you. Great news for the arm wrestling fans. Enigma of Rage, and so both the channels have almost reached 200,000 subscribers, 70 million plus views, 62,000 plus subscribers, followers on Instagram, and many on Facebook as well. This is the most important information. East versus West 10 was purchased plus 30% more. So 30% more than the previous best, which was East versus West 9. So let's assume, and I think my numbers can roughly be accurate. So roughly accurate, is that even a thing? So let's say East versus West 9 was at least 25,000. My assumption would be like 30,000. So what is 30% of 30,000? Whatever that is, I'll show you the calculation, and it's the number almost close to 40,000, man. That's good. 40,000 pay-per-view sales, little bit less at $20. Even if Engin is able to save like $10 or $9 out of that, it means more upcoming events, amazing event. It means Devon Larratt's paycheck keeps on going up, and the same thing happens to every single athlete as well. We want our arm wrestlers to be rich. Make it happen, Engin. There is only one thing that I don't like about East versus West. Number one, shady veins. The veins should be more professional, should be more transparent to the viewers. Let's not talk about that. But this qualifier thing, man, it started as a great thing, but I'm not sure if it is serving the total purpose that it was intended to serve. Because let's be honest, there are not many great athletes coming out of these qualifiers. Yes, Frank Lamparelli was good. He did beat up Matt Mask, close match, good match. But I think the best guys are already there. And the rest of the guys, they are not going to go to the qualifiers. So that's the problem. Not enough high-level talent is coming out of these qualifiers, and that's why you see that people are not really interested about these qualifiers. Like, for example, this Latvian qualifier that was posted yesterday. So who is going to qualify from there? Coach Ray can already compete, and I think Sandre Sedis can already compete. Vladislav's, if he gets back to his shape, I think he has been a WAF champion. He can already compete if he wants to. So I'm not sure if these qualifiers are really that much necessary anymore. But they're a good thing for the athletes that do not have any social media coverage by themselves. And finally, Mr. David Dadikyan asking for a John Brzenk match for who knows how many times. This man deserves that match. He said clearly that he's not interested in that Ongarbayev match anymore. He wants Tordzilla, and most likely he's going to compete against Tordzilla at East versus West 11. But he's open for the John Brzenk match as well. And if you know, in 2019, he was supposed to face John Brzenk in the 95 kg division of top 8, which never happened because of various reasons. And he also said that he won't trash talk anyone anymore because his experience after trash talking Prudnik was not so good, and he didn't like that. And you can see that people kind of hated him because of the trash talk issues. He kind of almost created an enemy on the table. He lost on the table. Overall, it was not a good experience, and he's not going to engage in the trash talk trying to promote the matches anymore. So Dadikyan versus John Brzenk, should it happen? He's currently 118 kilos, but he is willing to cut down to 105. Can he beat John? Can John beat him? Can Tordzilla beat him? And not just this one, mention your thoughts about all of the topics that we discussed. If you like the video, if you like this format, clearly you like it because the views show that and the likes number show that. So 1500 likes, I think it should be an easy target. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.